This will be episode 127 for you guys tonight. Once my co-host Fred Harris and our guest Manny Wilson joins in the live, we will go ahead and get today's episode started. What's up, Fred?
Hey, Tom.
So, a lot to like about football for you last week.
Ooh, boy, you ain't lying.
But I guess we'll save my sake for when we start. But
Sorry, my thing messed up. Laptop a little broke. So it's
you said
kind
your
of
laptop broke?
yeah, it's kind of doing a little droop dance.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. Just hope it stays up this entire time.
Once my guy Manny comes in, then we'll go ahead and get things started. He said he's about to hop on.
Right. Let me switch. I know this glare is gonna be killing people.
Curtis already wilding, you know. Dang, you didn't even start, Curtis.
I love the support, Curtis.
I don't. That was a shot right off the bat.
So I got this watermelon holding my camera up.
Watermelon?
Yeah.
What's up, Manny?
What's going on with you?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. How about you, man?
Good.
That's what's up.
All right.
Yeah. Let's get it going, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. Oh. All right, we're all listening, so we go get ahead and get things started. All right. Hey, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host, Thomas Siri from Onthehop Podcast. Today, this will be episode 127 for you guys today. For today's episode, I'm joined by my co-host, Fred Harris, and our guest joining us all the way from Chicago, the host of the Run Podcast, Manny Wilson. Manny, I'm glad to be collaborating with you again. Check out his merchandise right there, the Run Podcast, right there. I didn't even check until I did it. Got the little Cam Newton salute right there, but yeah.
We love it.
But yeah.
Gotta represent.
Thanks, Manny, again for coming on today. I came on your podcast before you came on here before, so glad to have you back on and talk about some sports, because I've been following you, man. Y'all got to check them out on the Run Podcast, man. The videos be having me crack up, because that's what we're going to get into the first segment, because this one I said, man, we're going to have to talk about this segment. But
Let's do it.
Let's go ahead and get it going. We'll be sharing our Eagles and Cowboys game summary. What was your guys' thoughts on the game that transpired on Sunday?
Oof. Man.
You want to go ahead and start? I'll let you kick it off.
Yeah. I will start. All right.
Let's do it.
So, let me start off with an apology, Tom. I'll start off with an apology. Dak was not ass. He was not. He looked good. The team as a whole, I don't know about that one, but Dak looked good. I mean, a couple crucial penalties, especially at the end of the game, really sealed the deal for y'all. But I mean, it looked like a divisional matchup. That's what it looked like. It looked like a divisional matchup, some tough football from everybody around. I mean, it was close the entire game. I mean, it was a good game the entire time. I mean, Dak throwing for 374 for 3 touchdowns, and Jalen Hurts throwing for 207 and 2 touchdowns. You can't be mad at what you saw on Sunday. That's what I gotta say. You definitely cannot be mad at what you saw on Sunday. My outlook on both these teams at the end of it were that the Eagles are a very good team. It might get a little scary for the Eagles when it comes to playoff time, but the Eagles are still a very good team. The Cowboys, on the other hand,
Oh,
man. I mean, if Dak can keep playing like that, y'all can win some more games. Y'all definitely can win some more games. I don't really see y'all doing much, but I guess only time will tell, won't it?
yeah, but we already know what's coming.
Yeah, hey, look, let's just cut to the chase, bro. Let's quit playing, bro. We already know what's coming. Cowboys gonna finish the regular season with a good record and lose in the first round of the playoffs. Let's quit playing.
Oh, dang, first round? You ain't giving us a divisional?
Bro, they losing in the first round, bro. Let's just cut to the chase. This is what the Cowboys do.
This is what Cowboys do.
You know this, man. You know this. They look good in the regular season. People hype them up. Yes, Dak played good. He played tremendous. I'll give him his credit. Usually I be hating on the Cowboys, but right is right and wrong is wrong. So I can admit, Cowboys, they looked okay against Philly. And Philly, they had some shackles of their own they need to fix up. But at the end of the day, I trust Philly way more with the talent and the team and the organization that they've been over the past few years to buckle down when it comes to it in the playoffs compared to the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
Because we think Cowboys have good regular seasons over the last few years, get to the playoffs and fold like a piece of tissue every single year for them. I'm just saying, that's how I'm going to call it how I see it. The loss against Philly specifically, because that's what we're talking about, that loss was not on Dak Prescott. He did his thing. I 100% agree with you on that. That was not Dak Prescott's fault at all, bro, because he did what he had to do, and it was a lot of small mistakes that happened throughout, especially during that last drive of the game, where somehow he got his team all the way downfield. but it just so happened that penalties pushed them back, and it was small, minor mistakes as a unit that really hurt the Cowboys, and stuff like that. That's going to come back in the playoffs, and that's going to get them, even with the Eagles. But I've seen the Eagles continuously build and learn from their mistakes week after week and year after year. It may not show every single week, depending on who they play, but ultimately the things we can count on them doing well, of running the ball and blocking well and playing good defense for the most part, those things is usually consistent when we see them ball. So I'm going to call it how I see it. Cowboys, they've always been a pretty good regular season team. Dak, he's not my favorite quarterback. He's not the best quarterback, but he did his thing. He's okay. He balled out. I can't hate on him based on the Philly game. He did his thing. He was neck and neck up there with Jalen Hurts, honestly, but his team definitely shot him in the ass a little bit. His team hurt him.
Yeah.
His team hurt him because he did his part, but his team was not there to really help him out when he needed it most in this big rivalry game right here. So that's my piece on that with Philly and the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah. You had some good points, man. Fred knows, but yeah, Manny, I'm one of them Cowboys fans. I'm not one of them fans saying we're gonna go to the Super Bowl every year because I already know what's that. I tell people all the time, I'm probably the realest Dallas Cowboys fan you'll ever meet.
I don't believe so. I ain't gonna lie to you because you be having some delusional takes.
I tell the truth about the Cowboys.
Cowboys fans.
Wasn't you saying last year that Dak was top 10?
I said, oh yeah, last year I did, but then that's when all them turnovers happened.
I'm pretty sure literally the next week he just started throwing interceptions. You might have cursed him. You might have cursed him.
Hey, that's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, that is insane.
I said this before he started last year, before all the turnovers happened. I had him top 10. The baby league right now. Oh wait, hold on.
Say it.
You better not.
Say it. Go ahead, say it.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me count because this is very close. All right, Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Rodgers, Lamar, Hurts. Who am I missing? That's 6. Lawrence.
Hey, if bro ain't never get hurt, you might as well throw Kirk Cousins on there too. Because that man been
lying. Because Kirk Cousins was balling.
Hey, you might as well throw him in there too. Because boy been a dog. Boy has been a dog this season, man.
He has. I think I would take Dak at 10 at the max. At the max.
Dak right at 10. Ooh.
At the max.
Hey,
Lamar Jackson.
Stroud has been going crazy.
Yes,
oh no, he's top 10.
Been balling. I ain't hear no Lamar Jackson. That man 8-1 right now.
Oh, yeah, I said him. I said him at 5.
You said okay,
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, I gotta put him on there.
All right, I'll give you that. I'm gonna chill out a little bit. But hey, Dak at 10 is still kind of close to me. I mean, you can make the argument that he's at 10, so I'm not
Yeah, I
gonna
might still have to review the tape on this Dak at 10. I don't know if I'm gonna take it yet.
Hey, I'm gonna put it like this. I'm not gonna say that Dak is not top 10, but I'm gonna just go straight off of the facts from what we see leading up all the way to week 9. Dak is not top 10 in passing yards right now when I'm looking. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We can make the argument that he's top 10, but he ain't top 10 in passing yards as we speak. So he's got a lot of other names up there. Brock Purdy up there before him. You got Matthew Stafford there. Even Jared Goff, my boy out in Detroit, he even got him beat in passing yards right now. So I'm just saying.
The Brock Purdy that we're seeing right now, I would take that Prescott over Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
I would
too. I ain't gonna cap to you like that. I would definitely.
It's just been like his last 3 games though. It's been like his last 3 games. He's just been throwing.
Don't get me started on Brock Purdy now.
Manny don't roll with Brock Purdy.
You don't like
Purdy, man,
Brock
overrated.
Purdy?
No, he don't roll.
He's mad overrated. I put it this way. You switch Dak and Brock Purdy situations. Dak thrives in San Francisco.
Oh, I mean,
I
couldn't think of one quarterback that doesn't thrive in San Francisco.
That's
we got
my point though.
One who didn't, Trey Lance.
Trey Lance had 2 games and he had like 2 games.
Yeah,
so we can't really say that.
Fair shot. Yeah, he barely had a fair shot.
Yeah,
but
He practiced with the team. They had to see something.
Yeah, you're right. You definitely had to see something.
He had there every day.
You're right. You're right about that part. I ain't mad at it.
But man, I don't know. This game, it was really good. That was a real good divisional matchup, like y'all touched up on. Shout out to Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts. Great quarterback duel that we saw transpire on Sunday. What I saw from this game, I think the Cowboys have a top 5 offensive line. Not going past 5. But the weak link was shown on Sunday. Terrence Steele on that right side of the offensive line was blown up. Dak Prescott was blown up when it mattered most. He was getting destroyed the whole game, and Dak Prescott was getting sacked in the crucial moments on the final 2 offensive drives that we had. The reason why he was sacked 3 to 4 times in those 2 separate drives, that really hurt the game. I'm not understanding why Mike McCarthy is not involving Brandon Cooks in the offensive game plan. You got him for a reason. He's supposed to be our number 2. He didn't even get a look on Sunday. So I don't know how you're supposed to beat a team like the Philadelphia Eagles. You're not going to get a speedy veteran wide receiver like Brandon Cooks involved in the game plan. But also what I've seen from this game was decided by a game of inches. That's how the NFL is. And the Cowboys were unfortunately on the other side of that. With missed opportunities. You guys saw that Schoonmaker touchdown, that close touchdown where he was his knee was in short from the goal line. Dak Prescott stepping out on that 2-point conversion run, really hurt. Man, that hurt a lot.
Yeah,
hey,
because
he got back them size 13s up.
Because if you actually think about it, it was 23-28. He converts that. You only got to get a field goal, and it's anybody's ball game in overtime.
Y'all was in field goal range.
Yeah.
Easy field goal.
Oh, we would have made that field goal. Then the game of inches, we had 3 fumbles that we caused on the Eagles. We didn't even recover one of them. Not one of them. And I think that hurts too. So it is what it is. I'll take the loss. I think it was just they were just a few moments away from pulling off a big victory against the reigning, defending NFC champions in the Philadelphia Eagles. But there's something I want to talk about because, I don't know, I can't remember which one of y'all said it about these refs, but they got to do better because I'm not – look, I'll take the loss, but the refs got to do better. They missed several calls on this game, several. And, look, I got them all written down. I went back and looked at all of them. All right, 1. They missed my boy Michael Parsons getting held several times on the offensive line. They missed that. Then there was a pass interference called by Stephon Gilmore. The Stephon Gilmore pass interference that they called on A.J. Brown. The ball was nowhere to be found. The ball wasn't even able to be caught, and they called a pass interference. I thought that was bad. One that really made me mad, I thought this really could have made a difference in the game. If y'all remember, before that Schoonmaker touchdown that they called back because he was in short, Tony Pollard, that touchdown that he scored, that was called back because Chuma Egwa, our tight end, our lineman, he was supposed to be lined up and eligible as a tight end. Dak Prescott told the referee that he was eligible, and they called it back.
I did see.
He told the ref that the man was eligible before the play began, and they called it back. I thought that was crucial. Man, it's just not even just this game. I think all around the league this year, the refs have been missing a lot of calls, and all 32 teams in the league deserve better because it's crucial moments where teams are missing out opportunities to score points when it matters most, and crucial crunch time opportunities. Teams are getting robbed of penalties. I think the league deserves better. I'm seeing it all around the board, like every single week. And it happens all the time, and they still can't correct themselves. I don't know if they got sports betting parlays going on or what.
I'm still baffled about last week when they just let the Jets spot their own ball to kick the field goal.
Yes.
They just let them take their own ball and snap it themselves. Didn't even have to give it to the ref at all.
I was just thinking, I'm like, I ain't never seen that.
What's going on here?
Watching NFL, I ain't never seen nobody spot the ball and spike. I'm like, whoa.
And they let it go.
Is this legal? And like, come on now, what are we doing here? So I 1,000% agree with you on that too, man. It's hard to judge all these referees and say, oh, well, they're just calling the games and rigging the games and stuff. But I will say one thing, even though these calls have been bad, part of me is okay with it because it's been consistently bad all through the match. So I can respect that part of it. I can respect that aspect because at least we don't see the wishy-washiness. And on occasion we do. Don't get me wrong, but at least we consistently see these bad calls. Not that makes it any better, but I guess like at
least it's not one-sided.
Yeah, it's never one-sided. Like early on in the season, there was a lot of calls with the Chiefs and stuff, and they still getting away with stuff. But I still see these same consistently bad calls that they're missing or that they're calling on a lot of defenders and offensive linemen and receivers, push-offs, all this little garbage, knick-knack stuff that costs you 5, 10, 15 yards. So, I mean, it is tough. And ultimately, I think we all in agreement, and I agree with both of y'all, when we say that these referees got to do a lot better in terms of buckling down on these calls and making them right, I should say.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all seen it, but Joe Burrow got a roughing the passer call.
Oh, my God.
Day.
I seen that clip.
Oh, my goodness, man.
Yeah. I still don't get the roughing and passer call because it's so that one is very, very, very inconsistent because it's almost like it depends on the person.
Right.
So, and I guess it's been that way too for a long amount of time in football. But man, that was not a good call at all. And then I've seen other quarterbacks get hit, and it is like especially another example I bring up: Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins be in the game getting his ass whooped every time before. He was in the game getting his ass whooped, roughing the passer after roughing the passer call, but they do not call it toward Kirk Cousins, and I do not know why. I'm like, man, it's crazy to me when I see these different things and see these different calls within the game. So, yeah, that's just one example out of many. But Kirk Cousins, boy, that man be getting beat down.
That patty cake roughing the passer thing started with Tom Brady. When he started complaining, that's when they started. All right, we're calling it for everybody. Or unless if you're a quarterback that truly matters in their eyes, they're gonna call it.
Oh yeah.
If you're a quarterback that we don't really care about this guy.
I don't see Josh Dobbs getting no roughing the passer calls.
Nah.
Yeah.
Hell no.
They don't care about him yet.
He gets smacked too.
If you valuable to the league, boy, they say hell no, roughing the pass, but throw the flag out there because this is crazy. Yeah, Tom Brady was the king at that.
Yeah, I think they do need it. Hopefully, I mean, if they do this, if they continue this to playoffs, fan base gonna start riot.
Yeah,
somebody get robbed of a big playoff game, and the refs do this.
I'm gonna tell tell you what's gonna happen. It's gonna take for a team to complain about it again, like the Bills were complaining about the playoff or the overtime rule.
Yeah.
Hey, it'll
Oh
take
yeah,
teams to really go in and file a complaint with the NFLPA, all of these other organizations connected to the NFL, and then once a fan base really, really pays a lot of attention to it, then the NFL gonna be like, okay, let's maybe change what is identified as a rough in the
Right.
passer. But
Right.
until then,
Yeah.
until the fan base really, really cry about it and the organization actually go to the front office or the headquarters and all of that stuff, it's not going to change. I don't think so, at least.
yeah.
Just put this out there though. I think that overtime rule is stupid, but
You like the
I
playoff one?
I don't like it. I don't like. I'm not a fan of it.
So they changed it to it's back. You got to go back and forth now, right?
Yeah,
Like
both teams get a chance to score,
and they
basically.
keep going
Right.
until
Right.
somebody.
Until somebody don't.
Yeah, them games be long as hell now, bro.
Right. And
Like,
so we just don't respect defense no more. So people who
I'm
play good defense, like,
yeah, you got. Hey, it's part of the game, man. You got to play. It was kind of soft to me too. I definitely believe that's kind of soft. I get both sides of it, but
yeah, I do. I get both, especially like a playoff when you got Patrick Mahomes going up against Josh Allen. They're both just slinging the ball all over the field,
I'm saying,
and then they go into overtime and Josh Allen doesn't get to touch the ball. I get it, kind of, but at the same time, the Bills have to play defense too. Like you got to play defense to get off the field.
hey, it is what it is, bro. Hey, if the coin ain't working in your way at the coin toss, then it is what it is. But then we done seen the opposite of that too. I don't want to stay on this too long because I know we got more to go to, but then we done seen the opposite of that too, where a quarterback does get the first chance to score and he folds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey,
pull the Jamarcus Russell.
right. Pulling the right. Like, that's his fault. That ain't nobody. Hey, that's his fault. Like, so, hey, there's been other cases where defenses have stood tall in that situation. You know, got a turnover, and it's like, hey, that ain't their fault. That ain't their fault. They did what they were supposed to do. So, I definitely, it's soft now. It's definitely a little soft giving both teams the opportunity. But, hey, it is what it is.
All right. So we're going to move on to the next segment. We'll be sharing which NFL teams' Super Bowl windows are closing very soon. So what NFL teams do you guys think are hitting their last stride, their last chance to win a Super Bowl with their current rosters?
Ooh, this is a good one. I'll go ahead and just step in really quick. I kind of want to piggyback off of what you were saying. I seen this in this video a couple weeks ago, Thomas, man. That the whole Miami Dolphins, bro. That window, I've sold all of my Miami Dolphins stock. Just so you know, because we talked about it a tiny bit. I've sold all my Miami Dolphins stock, bro. Them boys 0-3 against positive record teams. Anytime they play against some actual competition where they have to do something, they struggle. They can't get the ball down the field offensively consistently, and they struggle on the defensive end because they can't stop a single soul.
They cannot.
I sold all of my Miami Dolphins stock. I think they're done. And then, as you said in the comments as well, Buffalo Bills, they've been struggling. I said it way before in the beginning of the season that this is the year for the Buffalo Bills if they want to actually do something. But you cannot continue to keep going to the playoffs being rah-rah in the regular season. And they're not even rah-rah in the regular season this year. So that makes it even worse. But typically they were rah-rah in the regular season, all hype winning games, get to the playoffs, look like a completely different team. They've cut that early, and they look like a completely different team now in a bad way. So also the Buffalo Bills as well. That's another team where I'm like, nah, in terms of Super Bowl, them two is checked off the list. Like, nope, they not getting there.
For me, I mean, I'd definitely the Bills is by far number one. I mean, because especially in the past years, everybody thought the Bills were definitely going to the Super Bowl. I mean, they were always maybe not the favorite, but 2 or 3 like highest favorite to go to the Super Bowl. I know it was just speculation at the beginning of the season, but the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, honestly, personally, even with Aaron Rodgers, I still don't think they make it to the Super Bowl. I don't think that team is good enough.
That's crazy. You don't think that team good enough?
I do not think that team's good enough. I think, especially watching them Sunday, they consistently shoot themselves in the foot.
They do.
Consistently. There were 6 or 7 pre-snap penalties pre-snap penalties, and then even when they did get a big play, I seen 3 or 4 big plays get called back by holdings. I just do not think that team is good enough. And I don't think a 39-year-old Aaron Rodgers transcends them to be good enough.
Here's what I'm gonna give a little pushback on that. Here's what I gotta say about that. I think it was a bad game against the Chargers last week. However, from what I've seen against those with the New York Jets, when they have been consistent and when they have played good football, they looked great. That defense,
The defense looked great.
Man, the defense, but even with Zach Wilson, you got to remember, this is almost, it's not getting a whole new offense, but this is getting a whole new offensive leader. So this is changing a lot of different things. And you got, come on now, let's not forget what Aaron Rodgers can do, bro.
Aaron Rodgers is okay.
And there's
what has Aaron Rodgers done in the playoffs, though?
You said in the playoffs.
The playoffs. What has Aaron Rodgers done in the playoffs?
Aaron Rodgers now. Come on, man.
Aaron Rodgers looks amazing in the regular season, and then when the playoff comes, he throws for 120 yards.
hey, either way, it's Aaron Rodgers.
It is.
I'm gonna put it regardless of the yardage he throws in the playoffs, that man knows how to win games at the end of the day. And then comparing him to a lot of other quarterbacks that have the talent and have the team, like compared to Zach, I'll use Zach Wilson as an example just because they're on the same team. Aaron Rodgers is going to dice up an offense to like no regards. He's dicing up or dice up a defense, I should say. He's going to dice up a defense with no regards when it comes to breaking them down and reading it. And with all the weapons that offense have, come on now. Come on, man. They loaded.
I mean, he had arguably the best wide receiver in football when he was in the Packers. He wasn't dicing up offenses in the playoffs, but the best wide receiver in football.
Very true. Very true. That is very true. I'll give you that part. But I remember the game against my Atlanta Falcons, and that was in the playoffs. We shut them down. Atlanta ended up winning. It was almost like our offense overshadowed them, and he had to continue to play from behind most of that game. Because he has such a great defense on the Jets, that gives me a lot more confidence in him. So even if he is struggling, that defense is going to keep him in the game. Yeah. And if you give any quarterback a chance in the league to just stay in a fighting chance, like I'm willing to bet the bottom dollar that they can make at least something happen. An above average quarterback in the league, 7 times out of 10, you give them somewhat of a chance to win a ball game, they may make something happen. That goes for a lot of quarterbacks. Obviously, there's no bad quarterback in the NFL when you look at it as like a professional level. But depending on all the guys that we're talking about, whether it's Dak, whether it's C.J. Stroud, whether it's Jared Goff, like all of those guys, I still think they make something happen regardless of if they have that opportunity to linger around and actually strike to win a game. So if those guys have a chance, I cannot find myself discrediting Aaron Rodgers to not capitalize on a chance like that, especially if his defense can actually keep him in the game. But that's just saying if his defense can keep him in the game, which I believe they can, because when they play good, and they roll.
I agree, but at the same time, the Jets sit at 4-4 right now. And Zach might not be the leader that Aaron Rodgers is, but I don't believe that they have those 4 losses because of Zach's gameplay.
Not all four. We'll put a couple of them on Zach.
Yeah. I mean, it's still Zach Wilson, but
there's the one. I think it was the Chiefs where he threw the interception or something late game. It was one of those games early on in the season, the first few weeks, where he threw an interception, and they could have potentially won the game. Literally, the last drive, he threw an interception.
When it was a fumble. Yeah, he fumbled in. Yeah, KC left the ball for 6 minutes. Yeah.
Cowboys, they got off to a really, really good start. Again, Cowboys, they are an amazing regular season team. I gotta mess with you a little bit. They're a regular season team. Week 2, they got popped by the Jets got popped playing the Cowboys, and that was Zach Wilson first game as a starting quarterback. So, I understand what you're saying. But you can make the argument that things will be completely different if Aaron Rodgers is there.
Yeah, I mean, you can make an argument for anything, but I like it. I like it.
Well, me and Fred been talking about this on the podcast for some time because I feel like the Jets, Zach Wilson, I mean, he's Zach Wilson, but if he could actually ball, they would have a chance to secure one of the last wild card seeds in the AFC.
Yeah.
But I get both of your points. I do think Aaron Rodgers is good enough to take that Jets team to heights that they haven't seen since Rihanna said the '68 Jets and Wild Thoughts. You know, I think they got the roster, but there is something wrong with that. There's one thing that's wrong with that roster. That offensive line is atrocious.
That offensive line is atrocious.
It ain't. And if Rodgers was there, I think they would fix it. But they're not gonna fix their problems with Zach Wilson already back there. And I think the team lacks what Aaron Rodgers' presence right now because Nathaniel Hackett, he's not. Everybody knows he's not that good of an offensive guy, let alone a good head coach. But he gets along with Aaron Rodgers. They had a connection going on for years in Green Bay. So when you go from, okay, Aaron Rodgers and Nathaniel Hackett know what to do offensively together, then you go with Zach Wilson, Nathaniel Hackett. Zach Wilson, not a good quarterback. Nathaniel Hackett, not a good coordinator. Those two don't mesh with a bad offensive line already.
Yeah, I 1,000% agree with that.
Yeah, I think they just lack offensive flavor because they should be running the ball more with Breece Hall. They definitely
100%.
Man, he's the one that got to carry that offense right now if they're not putting it in the air.
They go away from Breece Hall so fast.
Yeah. That's what Nathaniel Hackett's used to, going pass happy with a guy like Aaron Rodgers. Well, I don't know if he was calling the plays last year with Russell Wilson or not in Denver, but yeah, that's what he knows offensively when things get tough. Pass happy. And you can't do that with Zach Wilson. You better balance it with running pass.
Yeah.
I barely even see play actions going on. Play actions will get things going if you already got the running game going. I barely see that when I watch games. But
I don't know. They hopefully they get it together. Yeah. But like I said, I think they could definitely sneak in a wild card game. So if they win, dinner.
Yeah.
Y'all more optimistic than I am. Y'all more optimistic than me.
Nah, I don't. After that, I was saying they got a shot to do it, but after that Chargers game, I don't know. I don't know right now.
That was nasty.
It was that whole. I mean, honestly, from both sides, it was kind of nasty. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
You said what?
From both sides was kind of nasty. The Chargers didn't look good either.
Justin Herbert out there balling with a middle broken finger on his left hand.
Yeah.
I can barely grip the ball when he's throwing.
That's crazy. Yeah, that is crazy too.
But my next team whose Super Bowl window is closing. Sorry, Tom. I'm sorry.
I know. I already know. It's the truth.
You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
I love it.
America's team is slowly dying. I mean, how many years are y'all going to have the best team on paper? Because that's all it is. It's just on paper.
Preach.
Because when y'all go out there and y'all actually play football, y'all don't look like the best team ever. Actually, last year, I think for like the beginning of the season, y'all looked like a really good team. And then y'all started folding. Y'all
regular season maestros, man. That's what they do. That's what they like the Los Angeles Clippers.
No. Nah, not the Clippers.
Like that. Cowboys got some sort of a winning history. I ain't gonna do it like that.
No, history. You said it right.
History. Ancient history. Ancient history. I looked up their last Super Bowl appearance, 1996. 19. They just started selling flip phones then. Just started selling flip phones. Insane, bro. Insane.
Man.
Hey, let me say something real quick because y'all know the roster is there, Fred. I've been preaching about this for a long time. There's two people in the organization. Well, you might as well throw. Jones family, they just care about ratings at this point. They don't care. But there's two people in the organization that will cause the Cowboys of a Super Bowl run. Is Dak when it matters most? Mike McCarthy. Why is Mike McCarthy is a Jason Garrett 2.0 with a better resume? You trusting him to win a Super? Yeah, he do the same thing, and you giving him look. I don't know if y'all seen his play sheet or not. There's only 6 plays on 3rd and long. When the Cowboys are in 3rd and long situation, there's only 6 plays on the 3rd and long sheet. the call from.
They gotta get
So
creative.
yeah, it sucks to say, but the Super Bowl window, I feel like it's going to be open for us, but it is, can we get there? It's like it's open, the portal's open, but you don't want to take that leap in there. You just sightseeing at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, that Des call, it hurt. That was the best chance for my sake to ever see my team win a Super Bowl. Because that Des caught it, man. That roster in 2014 with Romo, DeMarco Murray, Des Bryant, Jason Witten. That offensive line and their front, man.
Man, that offensive line was crazy.
Y'all always got the best paper roster. That's how y'all do, bro. That's how y'all do, bro. When it come to paper, bro, y'all get it done on paper. Y'all put together a roster. Y'all can put together a team.
Man.
But that's what Jerry Jones does. Like, he says he cares about seeing another Super Bowl, but does he really though? Like, you put together this aura every year. America's team. They draw in the ratings. You draw in their ratings. What about another ring to put on your finger? Them trophies are collecting dust at that point. At this point, they're for display. At this point, I want to see something new, something fresh, something I can say, "Hey, I watched my team win a Super Bowl." I can't even say I said that. I've seen that yet because what's going on?
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I don't think we ever need to see. I'm so sorry to say this. I'm so sorry.
Uh-oh.
I don't think the world needs to see another Cowboys Super Bowl. No time.
I need to see it. But hey, you're all right.
Hey,
that's what I said. Huh?
Have y'all been in a championship game since you've been alive? No.
Nah, bro, they ain't did nothing. They did nothing.
Man,
I'm telling you, the portal is open, but when they say past divisional round, they just turn around.
That's their cutoff right there. They say it's time to go home. We got our divisional game. Bet we gonna lose. All right.
Hey, yo, we played real hard this year. Let's go home.
Yeah, that's it.
It's so upsetting because it's right there, but I will say for y'all's sake, y'all all right, because like I said, I'm the realest Cowboys fan out there. If we win another Super Bowl, it's gonna be a chaos all around the world. You just gonna see Cowboys fans just acting out of pocket.
I know.
Everywhere.
I know. They're
gonna say Dak Prescott is better than Tom Brady as an all-time great.
I'm already knowing. Don't even get me started, bro. Yeah. That's what they did with Emmitt Smith. They try to say Emmitt Smith the best running back in the world. And I'm like, boy, you got to stop it. Emmitt Smith was good, but he had nothing on Barry Sanders, bro. Barry Sanders was doing all of that with no O-line, bro. Like, come on now.
This is true.
That's why Cowboys fans just take it way out of proportion. That's why I say the world don't need to see it. I'm getting off line if the Cowboys ever.
I definitely won't be getting on IG that week.
You just know ain't no clips coming out, ain't no podcast coming out. I'm going on vacation, going out the country.
MIA,
at least 2 weeks to get away. Let the hype die down a little bit, boy. Man, that was crazy.
They play the Eagles in the playoffs, and 49ers play the Lions. I don't see that. I don't know about the Lions beating the 49ers yet. I don't know.
Yeah, either. I think it's possible. If they play well, they definitely have a shot. But this is me being somewhat of a Lions fan too. I ain't gonna lie, but I think they definitely got it. So let me just have my moment. I think they have a shot, but based on history, I'm not going to get up here and tell y'all that the Lions is going to beat the 49ers because the Lions, as much fun as we making at the Cowboys, the Lions have never done anything in the playoffs. So the closest the Lions have gotten to any Super Bowl is hosting the Super Bowl in Detroit. Not in Detroit, that was Pontiac, Michigan, which is further out from Detroit. It's not necessarily Detroit. So I can't sit up here, as much as I would love for the Lions to win a playoff game and go on somewhat of a playoff run. I can't personally believe it and stand behind it until I see it. I have to see them win the game to be like, damn, they actually won. And to get somewhat hyped that they can continue to win. Because, for too many years that's happened. It happened against your Cowboys a couple years too. Yeah. Yeah, too many years. It was getting robbed too by the referees. But I can't think that they'll go on a playoff run right now. I got to see them. You just never know with them Lions, boy. They crazy. That's a whole different story. I can go on about that forever. So,
yeah, I think the Lions just have a few more steps they got to take before they're Super Bowl contenders. They are a good team right now, but I think they got a few more steps.
they got
good culture right now, though. I will say that.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely like their culture right now. They've established something,
yes,
and established something desirable for not only fans but also for other players. So if you're a receiver and you're looking to go somewhere, they've definitely established a culture where it's like, oh damn, they play hard over there with the Lions. They got a lot of talent, but they're gonna get their best effort every single game. Like that's something that's desirable, especially if you're a guy who, you trying to go to a team that just work hard, full of people who work hard. So I can definitely put them on that.
The wins, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody likes winning.
Yeah,
everybody likes winning. So nobody will go to a team that starts off like 2-10. Nobody want to do that. So I mean, winning will always draw people to the team.
That's facts. That is very, very true. Very true. They have been winning games a lot more this season. So, but again, we just over the midseason point. So I can't even get hype about the Lions. They got to continue to show me something before I can get hype. So,
yeah. I got two teams on here, and no, it's not my team, Fred. I'm not gonna say it again.
Hey.
But I do got two teams on here. One of them are actually gonna catch y'all by surprise, but I do believe that time is running out for this team. Team one is the 49ers. Now, hear me out. John Lynch has done a great job being aggressive, putting a lot of talented players on that roster, arguably having a lot of players that are the best players at their respective positions.
Yeah.
But time's not on their side right now. Players like Deebo Samuel, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, George Kittle, Trent Williams are taking up a huge amount of money, cap space money right now, getting paid over $20 million per year. So that's a lot of money. They still got to sign a big name on their roster this NFL season. That's Brandon Ayuk, their wide receiver. He's a big threat, a big role in their offense also. The 49ers have been to several NFC championships and a Super Bowl appearance back in 2020, but they haven't gotten done. And they still have yet to win a Super Bowl with having one of the best rosters year in, year out in the NFL. And they're only projected to have only $5 million in cap space this offseason. That's a big problem. This roster might only have 2 years at max to win it all before they have to get rid of names and hit the reset button so you can get draft picks once again, because they've gotten rid of draft picks. Trading for Trey Lance, giving up so much to get him. You see what the Dolphins cashed that in for. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Bradley Chubb. That's going down as one of the worst trades in NFL history.
Oh, yeah.
Then you're giving up draft picks to get Christian McCaffrey, which is smart. But I feel like they're wheeling and dealing like the Los Angeles Rams did, and they're paying for their consequences right now. And the Rams went on to win a Super Bowl. Well, the 49ers, I don't know. They should. I don't know. But I think they only got 2 years before they really got to start considering moving these top players that they have to create cap space for the foreseeable future.
Do y'all believe Purdy gets a contract?
They better not. They better not do him big. I tell you that it's way too early to throw him a shit ton of money, bro. It's way too early for that. We seen what happened with the Giants. They got hype off Daniel Jones. Paid him all that.
I don't even know why.
Hey, Rob would like that, man.
I'm like, John is literally the one carrying him, and y'all don't want to pay him. I'm like, Daniel Jones.
How do y'all skip Saquon and then give Daniel Jones $40 million a year?
I'm like, what are we doing here? So for that reason, I think it could be a very, very similar situation in San Francisco if they did end up paying Purdy, bro. Purdy is not there yet. He has not shown us anything. As I've said multiple occasions, he has not shown us what he can do in clutch situations. He has not won ball games specifically because of his play. He's been carried by the skill and the talent on the offensive side. All the other help he has, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, the O-line, the tight end, like he's got so many weapons there that's really helping him thrive. And until he can show me, even with all those weapons, I'll give him that. Until he can show me that, hey, I'm that guy. I'm a bad mother. Like, until he can show me that, then I'm like, all right, hey, pay the man. But he has to do that consistently. I've seen that from Lamar Jackson. I've seen it from Jalen Hurts a little bit. I still don't think Jalen Hurts is one of the top QBs. I got a couple people over him, but I've seen him prove that he's that guy consistently, game after game after game after game. And hell, he went to the Super Bowl. So I mean, anytime a guy goes to the Super Bowl, their agent is working with that type of thing, talking about you got to pay my guy. He went to the Super Bowl. So even Jalen Hurts, but obviously, we all know Pat Mahomes. Josh Allen even did his thing at one point. Joe Burrow. It's a lot of quarterbacks. All of these guys I'm naming, I say them because they've proven time after time that, hey, he is an elite quarterback. He is a serious threat. We have to plan something to protect him and watch and make sure that he continues to thrive. I don't see that out of Brock Purdy yet, and they damn sure should not pay him. Damn, not yet. Not yet. Keep him around, but don't pay him a huge contract. You maybe give him an extension after he shows that.
Yeah, I'm looking at his contract right now. It's going to expire by 2025, but it's crazy that man, I don't know if they should give him a big deal because, again, you got another big problem on your hands. So I think he's got to earn it if you go get it. But
absolutely.
For years 2024 and 2025, he's only set to make $1 million in those two respective years. Yeah. That's a, and they've been getting, I will say this too, they've been low-key getting away with this situation because you're paying all these other players, but quarterback, they really haven't had to give a big bag in terms of big contracts. Jimmy Garoppolo has something slight, but in terms of something that guys like Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, they ain't never had to get that checkbook out. When Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch been there, they've been playing it safe. I give them credit for that.
Yeah, that guy also, I don't think that guy actually came across their organization yet, though, because even when they paid Garoppolo, I didn't think Garoppolo was worth all of that money. And
I don't think Garoppolo is very good at all.
I've never thought he's
clearly.
I mean, we just see him lose his job, so
I'm saying clearly he
ain't
was
no
not worth all that money.
Right.
So when they got rid of him, I'm like, okay, this is a good thing. Hopefully, they get rid of the big contract, all of that, and give it to somebody else. So. Yeah, I didn't think that was very smart on their behalf either. But I think they could find themselves in a similar situation with Brock Purdy if they move too soon on that.
Yeah. The team, I got the other team I'm going to say before we move on that y'all touched up on is the Buffalo Bills. I think their window is closing very fast. Out of all 32 teams that have a legit chance to win a Super Bowl, I think theirs is closing the fastest. Because over the last few years, they've had one of the best teams in the AFC. If the season were to end today right now, they would miss the playoffs. They wouldn't even have a final wild card spot. They would miss the playoffs if the playoffs started today. Offensively, they've been struggling over the last few weeks. Stephon Diggs is frustrated. You can see he's frustrated with the team right now. Little by little things, nothing too significant to be in the media, but you can tell he's frustrated offensively with not getting enough touches or how the offensive game plan is going. I really think the offense took a hit when Brian Dable left. And I think he deserves a lot of credit for helping develop Josh Allen to what he is today because he wasn't – I mean, Josh Allen, he's still a turnover machine.
Yeah, I'm about to say he's been throwing picks like it's his job.
But when Brian Dable was there, it was limited. His turnovers were very limited. Now you see this man turn the ball over left or right, and he leads the league in turnovers since he came to the league in 2018. So I think they're missing him. Their defense does not look the same. I know they're missing a lot of key pieces, but they don't even look like a top 10 defense anymore. And they were a top 10 defense over the last two seasons. Yeah. And now I'll say they're borderline of a top 20 NFL defense. And their divisions will only get better as time goes on. I mean, I don't know how the Patriots rebuild will go, but if the Dolphins can continue to get pieces and move forward, Mike McDaniels and company, the Jets, if they could get rolling with Aaron Rodgers and the roster they have, that the AFC North is only getting better. So I think right now they could potentially finish third in the AFC East and miss the playoffs right now. So, and I think if Stephon Diggs ain't on that roster, they ain't going nowhere.
No.
That's right. He's going.
Nah, not with Gabe Davis being your number one over being your number one. That's not gonna work.
Oh yeah, they done. They done if they don't have Diggs on there. It's a wrap.
And I respect the personnel's teams using tight ends as big targets, but if you don't got no Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, George Kittle, or somebody like that, you can't be out there depending on Stephon Diggs don't get the ball. We're gonna give it to Dawson Knox or what's the tight end, the rookie tight end?
Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah, you can't depend on that for moving the chains down the field.
Mm-hmm.
So
even though I think Dawson Knox is a pretty good tight end. He's just been hurt this whole year.
In terms of
bad.
production, he's good. I'll say for his role, he's good.
Yeah, he just. I think he's been dealing with like an ankle injury like the entire year.
I think he's definitely solid. I wouldn't say he's on like the elite level of tight ends or that elite tier of tight ends, but he's also a guy where it's like, you know, when he is healthy, he's dependable. You can count on the catch type stuff. Definitely a solid tight end. Like when you look at the position and like needing another tight end to help you out, definitely solid in that area for sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like it's coming down to now or never for them before they really blow it up. Before they really like consider, okay, let's see what we get for Stephon Diggs. Josh Allen's gonna be their rebuild or not. He's there. Here's their franchise guy for a long time. But all the other pieces, Von Miller, especially somebody that you can still trade if you really wanted to. There's a lot of pieces on that team that they could just blow it up and restart if they wanted to. But I think their window is closing very fast, especially with that division getting better very soon.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Man, when I look at Josh Allen, I see Brett Favre. Okay, and I see the passing yards, I see the touchdowns, but the turnovers they're always there. The turnovers are always. They throw 3 touchdowns and 2 picks. They're always there. And I'm not gonna say that Josh Allen is Brett Favre, because Brett Favre is, I mean, arguably a top 5 quarterback of all time. I don't think Josh Allen's gonna be that, but
right.
Those turnovers, they're I don't know. He got to do something about it. He definitely has to do something. I mean, he fixed his accuracy problem. Now the turnovers, they gotta stop.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that, honestly, Fred. I mean, the turnovers is a big issue. That, to me, separates quarterbacks. Like, if this guy is really, really elite, if this guy can win you the ball game, or is he throwing turnovers? And, I mean, to me, that's what separates that gap between, like, him and Mahomes. When people talk about, oh, is he on the same level? Like, yeah, we've seen Josh Allen make some great stuff. He does make a lot of great plays. But, boy, he be throwing the ball away way too much as well. And from Pat, he don't make that many mistakes, not compared to Josh Allen. That mistake ratio is definitely different. And from what I see in the play and the mistakes, definitely side with other guys outside of Josh Allen in terms of like the tiers of how elite this guy is and what he can bring to a game. So I get what you mean in that comparison.
Yeah.
I get you, long story short.
Yeah. Definitely turnovers you got to work on if he wants to one day be an MVP or a Super Bowl champion. I think that's the small things you just gotta clean up, because I think he's top 5. The talent is there.
Yeah.
Turnovers, you can't be leading the league in turnovers and you a top 5 guy. That just don't add up to me.
No.
All right, so we'll move on to the next segment. Before we move on to the next segment, we're gonna talk about our partnership with Sharps. Sharps is a sports betting network best used for all sports bettors around the world today. Sharps allows you to link your sports books, including DraftKings, FanDuel, and BetMGM. Sharps also is a free, transparent app for all users around the world today. Download Sharps today by using. You can do that by downloading on Apple. Again, I ain't gonna keep going over the Android situation with them. Y'all should have an Android. It's 2000. I mean, y'all should have an iPhone. It's 2023. But download. You can use the promo code Tom as in THOM 661, and also use our guy Manny's code. He's also partner up with Sharps. Use his code the Run 444. So download Sharps. Use the code Tom as in THOM 661 and the Run 444.
It's VR.
Oh,
444.
Oh,
I don't
my
know
fault.
why.
Oh,
You know,
okay. That's on me. That's on me.
you are,
Okay.
I be thinking about it too. When I say I'm like, yeah, but yeah.
All right.
Long story short,
All right.
you are good, man.
All right. So let's share our best sports bets of the week. What do y'all have cooking up in your parlay this week?
Ooh, hold on.
Oh man, you about to make me cry talking about parlays, dog.
Man, especially because I had a
Oh,
rough week last week.
dog, I got robbed off of it was somebody, man. It was a simple thing. I can't even remember, bro. I've been staying away, actually, bro. I've been a little scared, man. But this week, I think I'm gonna cook up some good stuff. But long story short, what I was about to say, man, I did a easy 200 yards when passing from somebody. I think it was Lamar Jackson and Tua Tagovailoa or something like that. It was one of these weeks, man. And I got robbed. I hit everything on Lamar Jackson's side and the Ravens side. But Tua, it was the game where he just needed like one more first. I think it was against the Chiefs. He just needed one more first down or something to potentially like tie it up. And that would have got me like the last 10 yards that I needed, but I wasn't able to hit it. So, man, I was sick about it. I was sick. But that's a side story. We don't need that.
But before anybody else goes on, I got one that really hit home to me this past Sunday. And I had a 7-leg NFL parlay. Everything hit for the 1:00 slate. When I bet, I don't want to bet. I don't want to have. If I make a big parlay, I don't want to depend on a 4:00 game that can mess it up, or Sunday night. I want it all done in the slate over 1:00.
I get that.
So, long story
No,
short,
100%.
everything hit, but the Texans and Bucks game.
Don't get me started on that Texas Bucks game. Don't get me started on that.
Hit Tank Dell on that touchdown. I just needed them cover the 3-point spread. They take a knee on a 2-point conversion, bro.
That's sick.
You needed was one more point, and you would have covered the spread. You take a knee on a 2-point conversion, and it's 39-37, and I ain't hit on my parlay.
Yeah, I don't know who made that decision, take that knee.
That
He needs to be fired. I ain't going to you.
Hurt me
Get him out of here.
Bro. They be knowing. They be like, oh, the world needs only 6 more yards. Hey, take a knee.
Yep.
Bro.
I actually bet Tampa's money line. So when I seen that, I mean not that, I don't know why. When I seen Baker Mayfield go down and score that touchdown with like 46 seconds left, I was like, that's it. We're good. But C.J. Stroud decided that he was going to be one of the best in the league. Drop him down 75 yards with 40 seconds left.
That's a dog in the making right there.
Nah, he definitely he's a dog in the making.
No.
But yeah, that killed my parlay.
I'm curious. Y'all confident enough in C.J. Stroud that he'll be able to get a win over the Bengals this week?
Bengals, they getting hot as a forest fire.
They are getting hot.
A little run right now.
Joe Burrow is just slinging the ball all over the field.
They flipped it around. They started off what 0-3 or something like that.
1-3.
It started off rough, but they've been doing that. They did that last year too, and look where they ended up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, everybody always get caught up into the starts of the Bengals. Like, oh, the Bengals are this. Oh, they lost their first 2 games. They got beat. I'm like, it's okay, bro. They're a slow starting team. Clearly they're a slow starting team. So
yeah.
I'm like, hey.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's get to these parlays. I have one for NBA basketball tonight. I mean, I made it a couple days ago, so I think the basketball games have already started. But I have the Celtics -3. I didn't even put who they were playing, but I have the Celtics -3, the Pacers -6, and the Hornets -2. Let me pull up who they're actually playing.
Yeah, they got Philly. Celtics,
the Celtics have Philly. I mean, off the rip. I see what Joel did last game. He had 40, 11, and whatever. I think he's a lazy basketball player. I just think he's a lazy dude.
Who was that?
So, Joel.
Oh, you think he's a lazy basketball player?
I do think he's a lazy basketball player.
Should he have?
Excuse me?
Should he have won that MVP? We ain't got to get into it. I'm sorry, bro. I brought it. This is not. Look, it's okay. This ain't the conversation. I don't know why I brought it up.
Yeah,
But
because I was about to go on a 2-hour rant about that.
yeah,
But
I apologize.
I mean, I like
I
to
can't
see my
talk
brother
about
win it.
that.
I
Next,
like to see my brother win it.
you said what?
I said I like to see him win it. I don't know if he should have, but I like to see him win it.
I was happy for
Yeah.
him, but we can talk. We'll discuss this when y'all come on the run. We'll bring the conversation back up. We'll have it.
Definitely.
But go ahead. My bad. I shouldn't even have brought that
All
up.
right. So we got the Pacers. They play the Jazz tonight. We got them at -6 over the Jazz. I like the way the Pacers are playing basketball, especially Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
He had a rough. I wouldn't even say a rough. He had a good game against the Hornets. A rough couple seconds in the end of the game against the Hornets, getting absolutely locked up by LaMelo.
Melo put the claim.
Absolutely locked up.
That boy
And that
was
don't even happen because LaMelo don't play defense. But
that was great defense.
yeah, it was great defense. So yeah, and then for my last one of the parlay, I have the Hornets over the Washington Wizards. FanDuel has them at -2. I'm taking that all day long. The Wizards, they look like the Wizards.
Yeah.
Dysfunctional.
Them boys, that's a rough organization.
Yeah,
right?
they look like a below 500 team, like they always do. I mean, I love Jordan Poole. I think he's gonna be great. But I seen Kyle Kuzma taking like 20 some shots. While this dude Jordan Poole has like
players.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Yeah, but Jordan Poole had like 8 shots. Like this cannot happen. This can't happen.
Yeah.
Hey, them boys in DC are playing basketball for fun right now. They're not trying to win no in-season tournament.
Nope.
But them boys is hooping for fun right now. That's the way it looks anytime I watch them play basketball. I don't certain teams, I ain't gonna cap you, bro. Certain teams I can't watch no more because I don't like watching bad basketball. So some teams I'm like I can't really watch unless I'm like looking for a specific player. But boy, they just go out there and play rec ball. They just be on rec ball. Like let's just go hoop today. Like
go have fun.
Hey,
we ain't gonna run no plays. We just gonna go out there and do our thing.
Go out there and shoot a couple shots and they wilding out there.
Yeah, but that parlay is a plus 580, so $10 get you $58. Seems like a good, nice play. And you know, every week, Tom, I like to do my I like to pick my 4 best teams in the NFL, and I like to parlay them with the money line. So for this week, I have the Bears over the Panthers. I have the Colts over the Patriots. I have the Bengals over the Texans. And then for the last one, I have where is it at? Oh, the 49ers over Jacksonville. And that's also another plus 500 bet. So $10 will get you $50.
Okay. Yeah. Sound good. Sound better.
I ain't mad at it.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at it.
I always like that strategy. I look at the slate for this week. I like to pick in those locks that I just know are gonna win. I just like to parlay those.
Yeah. I'm more of a safe better. I usually try not to bet if I have any doubt that it's gonna hit or that it's not gonna hit. Right. So like I'll bet on teams like that I for sure know gonna win. Like I'll probably bet on this Falcons and Cardinals game. Falcons money line.
Man, I don't know. Because after the way the Falcons played against the Vikings last week, I don't know what the Falcons are going to do. That's why I stayed away from it.
Yeah. And you know what? You're right. And you're actually right. So, yeah, even that game, I probably wouldn't because Falcons have been so dysfunctional. And I hate it because that's my team, but they've just been so dysfunctional. But when in doubt, win situations where I'm going, like, where I know a team for sure can win, then I'll put money on them. Like I'll go for it there. Like Bills Broncos for Monday. I'll feel pretty comfortable putting $5-10 on Bills. Yeah. You know, it's very unlikely that the Broncos are gonna end up winning that game. So like stuff like that, I definitely kind of that's my style of betting. I put it that team. And yeah, I know my Falcons is I know we trash. All right, we garbage. Yeah. We rebuild. We boo-boo. I was talking all that trash about the Cowboys. I have absolutely
Man, last week I had an evening parlay. I parlayed all the evening games. I had the Colts. I had the Eagles. And unfortunately, I don't know why. I seen Daniel Jones was coming back. I was like, hopefully the Giants can turn it around. And I picked the Giants
How
over the
you
Raiders.
do that?
Oh, yeah, I don't know why you did that. Hey,
I don't know.
Cowboys,
I had high hopes. I thought about Rob a little bit when I did it. I don't know.
He clearly wasn't thinking about them.
Nah, he wasn't. He was not. So, yeah, I definitely lost my money on that one.
yeah, that's a tough one. I go Cowboys money line over the Giants this week. Sure, I'll double down. So that'll probably be what I do. I'll probably throw Cowboys money line, Bills money line, maybe throw like 5 or 10. The return probably gonna be trash,
Yeah.
but you know,
You'll get $5 back for that.
yeah, I probably won't get anything back, but at least it's a win under my
No.
belt.
Yeah. That's why I stick to the NBA. I win when I do the NBA. When I do NFL, I don't know. Maybe I'm cursed.
NFL is money line in the NFL is a little more difficult because some teams be coming out of nowhere and decide to turn.
Yeah. Even when I don't. Like I had last week for the Chargers and Jets game, I had Justin Herbert to get 200 passing yards.
And he didn't do it.
No, I
Yeah.
thought that was a lock too. That should have been a lock. But Justin Herbert 200 passing yards?
Yeah, that definitely should have been easy money, honestly. That's one of my go-tos as well, is like a 200 passing yards, especially if it's two good teams. Like I said, I did that one with the Chiefs and the Dolphins. I'm like, oh, two good offenses, definitely both get 200 passing yards. Pat did get over 200, and Tua was the right under 200 or something. Like I did him for maybe 250 or something, but it was something where he didn't get it. And I'm like, man, this is just crazy. It was crazy. So, yeah.
I got all three of mine could be NFL this week. I got the Ravens versus Browns to finish under a total of 38 points. I think this is a good one right here. Both the Ravens and Browns defense are in the conversation for being one of the, if not the best defense in the NFL this NFL season. Ravens defense is only allowing 13 points per game.
Let's talk about it.
And the Browns defense is only allowing 17 points per game. So this is going to be a defensive game right here. In their first matchup between the game that they played against each other in the first game, the score was only a total of 31 points. So this rivalry game between the Ravens and Browns is always a low-scoring game. So I'm expecting this game to be under 38 total points.
Also, Amari Cooper and Elijah Moore are questionable for that game. I mean, they're probably just dressing it up. They're probably going to play, but it did come out today they were both questionable for the game. So, especially if they don't have Amari Cooper, it's going to get rough.
Oh, absolutely. That's definitely a good point, though. I would feel comfortable taking that bet also.
Yeah. Next one is the Buffalo Bills covering the 8-point spread Monday night against the Denver Broncos. Broncos have yet to actually cover the spread on the road this entire season. That game's going to be in Buffalo. The Bills are coming in angry and pissed off that they got whooped to the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday night. They are not going to be happy campers. I can see the Bills win this game by double digits against the Denver Broncos, especially with them being on the road and having yet to cover the spread on the road all season. We're past the halfway point. We're hitting the home run stretch now, and they have yet to haven't covered the spread on the road. I like that a lot.
I will say this: be careful, because I thought the same exact thing when the Broncos played Kansas City. I was like, oh, Chiefs, easy, money line. Chiefs about to win this game. And then all of a sudden, the Broncos won. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, this is one of the worst offenses in the NFL. They don't have a good defense, and they're playing against a top 5 offense in the NFL. I'm like, what is going on? I could not believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So be careful. That scared me with I think I would double down on the Buffalo Bills too for the money line, but boy, that kind of scarred me a little bit when they lost against the Chiefs. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
It seems like every time I pick something, the opposite happens.
I swear.
Every time you
NFL
pick
is crazy. Right, like you said, NFL money line is crazy. It's weird.
But this one right here, this one is it. This one has no choice but to cover, or I'm gonna be angry for myself and the team. But give me the 17-point spread with the Cowboys beating the Giants this weekend. Take the 17-point spread for the
17-point spread.
Yes,
in a divisional game.
Wow.
Yes, it's large, but hear me out.
Wow.
One, this is dirty work by America. This should not end up being game of the week between the Cowboys and the New York Giants. That's just dirty work across the whole entire country.
That is
very, very, very true.
But this isn't even a fair matchup. You having the Cowboys defense take on Tommy DeVito, and this is a whooping ready to happen.
Yeah.
Man.
Because there was I watched the last game and he missed a couple badly.
Yeah,
I think this game goes. I definitely think Cowboys pop these boys. I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up being like 34-7 or 40-7 or something. I think they do them bold, man. I see Giants scoring once this game. I don't know how, but I see them actually scoring once this game. But I definitely see these boys getting done bold.
Yeah,
man.
And it's bad. Like I said, this is dirty work by America. This should not be game of the week. Give somebody else an opportunity to be in the spotlight because this game's in Dallas, by the way, and the Cowboys haven't lost a home game yet. That's why I said this is not about to be fair.
It's sick.
And they've already blown this team out week 1, 40-0 when they were a healthy team. When they had Jones, Saquon, the whole O-line healthy, they already beat them at their best 40-0. So I have no choice but to cover the spread. I will triple down on them covering the spread. If they don't, I ain't never betting on this team ever again. I'm not. If they can't cover a 17-point spread against Tommy DeVito, no,
they don't.
There's no way.
We gonna have to clown them even more if they don't cover the 17 spread.
Yeah.
They
40
at full strength.
Yeah.
I just want to give y'all a little update on a personal bet that I made before the podcast started. I had Victor Wembanyama to get 20-5. Y'all see me keep looking up because I have the game on in front of me. Victor Wembanyama has started off 0 for 4 with 2 points, and I think he has 3 rebounds. I think so.
That's
he can still hit 5 rebounds, but
first game in the party.
He was talking shit before the Madison Square Garden, talking about, I thought it was gonna be bigger, and they getting to him.
Oh, I forgot he's not from the United States, so he see it on TV.
Just to prove to y'all, anything that I click, the opposite gonna happen.
I know.
I'm probably gonna click that Cleveland money line. I'm probably just to ensure it's the dub this week.
Cleveland.
What quarter is that Knicks game in?
No, okay, see.
It's the second quarter right now. We got 9 minutes left.
Nice.
What'd you say about that, Manny? About OKC and Cavs?
Oh, you said, I just meant Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Oh, Cleveland Browns. Oh, my fault.
Yeah, Cleveland Browns.
Cavs, my bad.
I thought you talking about the basketball.
Yeah. My bad. I ain't catch that. My bad.
You're good. But with that being said, we're gonna move on to the final segment. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with this.
Basketball.
Who are the most influential players in NBA history? Give me your list of the most influential players in NBA history.
All right. So I have 4 players. I have 2 Hall of Famers, 2 guys who aren't in the league, and I have 2 guys who are in the league.
Ooh.
All right. So, I mean, my first one, we got to start it off with Jelly Bean, Mr. Kobe Bean Bryant.
I love it.
I mean,
love it.
The mentality has completely shifted every way that somebody looks at the game. I mean, when you see a great player, you see them coming in, the first person to come in and the last one to come out. That is the Mamba mentality that everybody talks about.
I love it.
And I mean, it speaks for itself. It speaks for itself. My second historian is got to be AI. It's got to be AI.
I love it.
The crossover. I mean, everybody loves the Flash. All the kids are doing it. You see people crossing people people up. That's all people want to do. That's all people want to do now. Is cross people up, step back.
So you said the word step back. I thought of when he stepped over Tyler.
That is a generational guy, bro.
Generational.
I got a lot to add, but I'm gonna let you finish on your list first before I continue.
All right, and then my two current players. My first one, Paul George. Y'all can look at me crazy like that. Y'all can look at me crazy, but Paul George has reshaped it. I know y'all seen the NBA draft class come in, and multiple guys were asked who their GOAT was.
That was only,
you know who they said?
Brandon Miller.
Hey,
and that's
no. Multiple guys. It was either who their GOAT was or who they wanted to shape their game after. And multiple guys were saying Paul George, because Paul George has easily one of the smoothest, cleanest, silkiest games you will ever see. Especially when he was on the Pacers.
Pacers Paul George was him.
That was special.
And Thunder Paul George was him.
Yeah.
Thunder Paul George was an MVP candidate. He almost won MVP.
For what team you say? Oh, Thunder.
Okay, see, I don't recall him almost winning MVP.
Yes, he was an MVP candidate and almost defensive player of the year.
Maybe like the first 15 games of the season.
No, sir. He was at the end. He was like third in MVP voting. He was like that.
Y'all keep going. I gotta grab my laptop charger.
That's great. I don't know, bro. I have the utmost respect for Paul George, bro. He is definitely a generational type of guy. He helped influence the game. He helped change the game. I'll let you finish.
And then for my last guy, I mean, it's the easiest one. The guy who got that 30 on his back, Steph Curry.
Bro, I'm mind blown, bro. I'm mind blown.
Mind blown by Paul George?
Still mind blown. I agree with Steph. I can accept the Steph argument. I can accept obviously AI and the other. I can accept those. But Paul George, out of all the people in that era that came in, Paul George. I mean, we skipping KD, we skipping Bron, we skipping Kawhi.
Those are the. Bron, obviously. Those are the obvious guys. Bron on and off the court is just an upstanding person. It's just a role model in everything that he does.
He is. He's excellent at everything. That's why.
You can hate LeBron, but as a person, come on.
Yeah.
You have great KD. Just unstoppable, unfazed by anything that gets put in front of his face.
Smooth game as well, bro.
The ultimate scorer. But I don't know how many times I've seen, even to this day on Instagram, I see that the clip of Paul George blown by Bron and absolutely booming on Birdman.
Yeah, that was crazy. I'll give you this. To agree to disagree, because obviously, nobody's gonna agree on a set list of most influential. But to go to your point of Paul George, I will say the way he helped shift that position of the small forward, along with those guys of Bron, Kawhi, KD, and stuff, along with those guys, he really helped shift that, because when Paul George was coming in, he was coming off the end of an era of like Danny Granger and him. And Danny Granger was nice. Danny Granger was cool, but Paul George kind of took that to another level because he was explosive. He was more of a two guard
more ball dominant too.
Yeah, it wasn't ball down, all of that. So to me, I definitely get it, and I can accept that Paul George is definitely in there, because his game, being able to shoot, being able to play inside, outside, all of that stuff has helped that position tremendously. Now you got a three who can't shoot. You what are you no?
Yeah,
you got to play the four, or you ain't playing at all, bro. That's crazy. And I also think that's just how the game has continued to develop. But to your point with Paul George, I can agree to disagree on that, because again, ain't nobody's list gonna look the exact same, but I can give you Paul George. You could have easily said somebody else. Yeah, I give you Paul George.
I had to throw y'all a curveball. All right, I couldn't get.
You did throw me off.
I couldn't give y'all obvious ones.
Me off.
So who was your four games? You had Steph, PG, Kobe,
and Kobe.
yeah. Okay, bet that's a solid 4. That is a solid 4.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I need to see that comment real quick. It was
They said something about Rush. They said something about Rush.
never give up. That is inspiring.
I can't even see the comments. My joint not even refreshing.
I had to go back up to see that one. That Westbrook. Let me say this: Westbrook. It's hard to. It depends on you saying that dog mentality that he had when Kevin Durant left him. That one, if you got that on a yearly basis when he was averaging triple doubles and had that MVP run, that's inspiring. But I don't know. He's had so many downfalls to the point where I don't know about that. I don't know.
I can't give Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you exactly because we've seen. I'm not gonna say we've seen a guy like him or guys like him, but when you're in a situation where you're only by yourself on your team and you have to take 30, 40 shots a game, it's going to accumulate to more numbers. And I'm not saying that as an excuse to take away anything from Russell Westbrook, but if he didn't do what he was doing at OKC, they would have lost every single game. It was nobody else on that team helping him. He was out there with scrubs at the end of the day. It was him and Steven Adams that was really there to make anything shake. And he did what he could with
they had Enes Kanter. What are you talking about? Enes Kanter?
I thought Steven Adams was there at that time.
No.
Oh, they had
both of them. They had both of them.
You're right.
No, I'm joking though. Enes Kanter's not making no difference.
I was about to say, that's what I was about to say. Even I was about to say, we grab a couple more boards and throw it to us, but I'm like, keep it there. But you get what I'm saying, though.
They had the one dude, what's his name? Thabo
Sefolosha. Yeah, he was out there with some scrubs, bro.
Yeah,
he was out
there
with scrubs, man.
He was definitely out there with some scrubs. But I mean, back then his usage rate was one of the highest in the league. I mean, the ball was in his hand every play. Every play was made by Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, literally, bro. So like that even goes more to the point. Like, man, he had to do everything, or else he would have literally they would have had no chance to survive at all.
I don't think even if you put people in that position of Russell Westbrook, I don't see many people doing what he did. I mean, just for you to even just like on a stamina point, for him just to be running up and down the court for 40 minutes a game. Like I can't see many people doing that. But yeah, and not to mention he never had it like even with his high usage rate. I don't remember him ever being a high turnover guy either.
Oh, whoa! Let's not go there. No, he definitely was a big turnover guy. Boy.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he used to be flipping it, boy. That man had a triple double with like 9 turnovers, boy. He used to flip the rock. He would ball out. He would get you a triple double, but that boy know damn well he could flip a rock. I joke around and say that's part of the reason why KD left his ass is because he flipped the rock so much. But definitely a dog. Definitely still a great player. But boy know he can flip that rock, especially when he was with OKC.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You want to go, Thomas, or you want me to go?
Oh, I can go next.
All right, let's do it.
This is hard though. Like I had to think of so many players. But these 4 players stood out to me. Number 1 to me has to be Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, the legacy that he left behind for the sport of basketball inspired every player that came after him to be the best that they can be because of the legacy that Michael Jordan left behind for the sport of basketball. He was he was basically everyone's hero. Everybody wears a pair of Jordans because of him. And he was a player that was Michael Jordan the most talented? No, but he was built off of grit, determination, and dedication to get better on a yearly basis. Definitely one of the best two-way players in NBA history. The way he can do it. Hey, a lot of people, there's a lot of opinions out there. You know, I would say he is the best two-way player, but there's a lot of opinions. So, but the way how he dedicated his craft for countless years and then had two separate three-peats, that's special.
That is special.
Oh, yeah.
That's special.
I haven't seen anybody do that since. But
I mean, we could talk about how he got those three-peats, or we could talk about the people he was going up to get
Hey,
those
I
three
know.
peats.
I
hey,
But
look, I'm gonna put it this
yeah,
way.
that's a
we
whole
know.
We
different.
talk about that. That man won 3 rings. Said, nah, fucking, I'm done. I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna go play golf. I'm gonna play baseball. Never mind. Said, never mind. All right, I'm gonna go play basketball again.
I don't know
And
if he
won
said never
another
mind on the
3 rings
baseball as
in a
much as
row.
they didn't want him to play baseball anymore.
Another 3 rings in a row. That man 3-peated twice, bro. Took a year off, came back and said, y'all still ain't fucking with me. Like, that man that's crazy,
It's
bro. That is
crazy.
Yeah.
crazy to comprehend that this man literally won 3 championships in a row, said, all right, I'm retired, bro. I need a break. Then came back and said, yeah, y'all still ain't fucking with me. That's crazy, bro. Like, it's insane. It's insane, bro. Like, arguably, you can make the argument, and not saying, obviously, as you said, you can make an argument for anything, but you can make the argument that the man could have won 6 straight,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, that's
Like, it's
true.
crazy. It's even crazy to think about, and it's crazy that you can possibly and potentially make an argument for that. So,
Mhm.
like, that just blows my mind, bro. Blows my
Yeah,
mind.
it's true. But next player, I gotta put LeBron James in the conversation. Now, Manny, I don't know how you feel about this. Fred knows how I feel about it, but to me, LeBron is the greatest player of all time. I truly believe that I will put him over top of Jordan because of one thing y'all just touched up on. The level of competition that Michael Jordan's seen in the playoffs does not compare to the
Come on,
level of competition
talk about it.
in their two respective careers. It don't come close. So
Jordan
I
ain't
think,
never seen a Warriors team like that.
yeah,
Never.
I know the bad boy Pistons, but he ain't never seen nothing like the competition LeBron has unfortunately had to face in the NBA Finals. But I think if you put
Oh,
MJ in
he
LeBron's
cooking
era,
something.
huh?
He
What'd you
cooking
say?
something. I see it in his face. He might cook something.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah, keep going.
But yeah, I have to say LeBron is the all-time GOAT. I think in terms of basketball accomplishments, Jordan has some accomplishments over top of LeBron, but in terms of being the best of all time, I think LeBron is the GOAT. I do think that he's over top of Jordan though.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I'm gonna say to that. I don't disagree with you. I've retired from the Jordan and LeBron argument just because it's different eras in the evolution of basketball. The most recent is always going to be better because of the evolution of basketball. Like what Jordan was doing in his prime, he was so ahead of his time. With like he's just now getting to a point where we're talking about somebody is better than him, which is like what the 90s. It's 20 something 30 years later is just now getting to a point where it's like, all right, this guy is potentially better than him. And at some point down the line, maybe 30 years from now, we'll be talking about somebody's better than Bron because of the way the game changes.
Yep.
So with that being said, I can agree with you that yes, LeBron is the best basketball player, but at the same time, Jordan is Jordan. There will never, ever be another Michael Jordan, and there will never be anybody who's as great as a basketball player as Michael Jordan and what he brought to the NBA and basketball as a whole. Because even impact, and I don't want to get into the off-court stuff and all of that type of the rings and all that, whatever.
Yeah.
But as a basketball player, what we seen one man do to the game of basketball was insane. He was so ahead of his time.
He was.
Ended the game to what it is now, to where we got to watch all of these Kobe's, T-Max, Vince Carter's in the 2000s, where we got to eventually watch all of these guys in the 2010s of KD's and eventually leading on to LeBron. But that's what's crazy because you can also make that same argument about LeBron because he's so ahead of his time and what he's doing right now. Like, he is putting people on the path of what we're going to be witnessing in the next 30 to 40 years of basketball.
Yes.
We ain't never seen a dude 6'9" who can run like he can and can do every single thing on the floor like LeBron can, which is insane. That's what led to these Giannis's and Wemby's and all of these crazy 7-footers actually dribbling the ball and going to the hoop now because of what LeBron was doing. He changed the game. And I'm a firm believer that every so amount of years, we see those guys come in and make that generational type of change to the game of basketball, whether it's just in the NBA or like as a worldwide global impact to the game. So Michael Jordan will always be number one to me as a basketball player because he was like, he's the Mecca. Like, he's the picture we painted from. Like, Jordan ain't, like, it starts with Jordan. Like, basketball doesn't get to be as big as it is now without Michael Jordan. So because of that, Jordan is at number one. Hey, that's exactly what's going on. I had to get it together. That's exactly what's going on. But because of that, Jordan is always at number one. But I also understand that in terms of skill in the game of basketball, LeBron James is the most developed and the best basketball player that we've ever seen play this game. Like, and it's simply because of evolution and what happens. But although I hate to say it, although I love Kobe better, I love Mike better as a basketball player, like, you cannot deny the fact that what LeBron can do on the court is better than anybody else and what they've ever been able to do on the floor. Like, it's just insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. I really believe this debate, for anybody who's still debating out there of Jordan, Kobe, Bron, like, I really feel this debate went to the end when Bron came back from that 3-1 lead. That was cool. Like, what more could you have said? What more? Like, if you literally sat down and watched that game, what could you have picked apart from, LeBron can't do, like, what? You could not have said nothing. He played perfect, bro. Like, he literally played perfect for 4 games straight. Literally.
Hey, man. Hey, you gonna make Fred cry? He a Warriors fan.
Bro, I wanted Steph Curry to win. I wanted Steph to win. I wanted him to win.
Like you said, I'm a Kobe guy. I really don't even like Bron. I really don't. But I gotta respect the greatness. I accept it, and I appreciate that. That's simply what it is. It's greatness. I mean, like you said, I think we're gonna see players play for longer because of LeBron. I think he has set the blueprint of what you need to do on and off the court to play longer and to play, I mean, better. Simply, I mean, so that's why the point record I'm scared for it, because I think somebody else who is gonna be able to score very well and to play as long as LeBron did, and maybe even longer, might come to get it.
That, and then, bro, we don't even know what rule changes might come into play in the next 30 years. Like, so that is also going to have an impact. So when 30 years from now, when people having an impact like, is this guy better than Bron? I'm like, bro, they added 4-pointers to the NBA now, bro. Like, of course he gonna rack up. They shooting from half court now, and there's 4-pointers in the league. Like, of course. So, like, it's crazy. Yeah. But ultimately, evolution, the way it works, is the most recent guy is always gonna end up being the better guy. Like, until an extended amount of time. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. But that was. Go ahead, my bad, bro.
You were cooking. You were cooking right there.
Cooking. He was definitely cooking.
There's a comment that I was just about to say right there. That hit it on the nail right there. LeBron, you have to give him his flowers too for this. I wanted to say that. I should have said that also. Because the man is 39 years old. Nobody's done it at the highest level at age 39. No all-time great can keep up with what he's doing at age 39 years of age. Nearly hitting he's going to be 40 next month. So, averaging those amount of points, nearly 30 points per game at this
playing 30 minutes a game.
Yeah, on a minute restriction at that. But there's a catch to that, because I think one day we're gonna see a documentary of what athletes put in their bodies. And now they got the nutrition down pat. They're putting $1 million in it. Yes, their diet plans are perfect. But there's going to be some type of documentary one day where you're going to find out what these athletes are putting in their bodies to go on for a long period of time. Like Tom Brady shouldn't have been playing quarterback at the highest level until that final season of his career, playing at 45 years old. But for the most part, highest part of his career. Now LeBron's still doing this nearly 40 years of age. There's going to have to be a documentary about these athletes, what they take in their bodies to continue to be at that high level that they're at.
You're right.
But
because I'm out here running around now and my body hurt.
Yeah.
So what they doing? Because I need that.
I feel it. I get it, bro. I get it.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from their greatness, but one day it's going to be shared of what these athletes were doing. That McDonald's away, not to keep hurt. Chad Johnson was crazy. This man was getting McGriddles, orange juice.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
That's the best.
I
that's the best way to take care of your body. Go get you some fries. Go.
There was no way that this man, even to this day, this man is 40 years old. There's no way he goes to McDonald's every day, get that, and still look like that great of shape.
Did you hear the diet plan he gave Cam Newton one day?
Right. I don't believe that.
Back in the league, I'll get you. You go ahead, eat Pop-Tarts pre-game. I'll get you right. I believe it. If you tell somebody eat Pop-Tarts as a game plan, a pre-game, I believe that he was on that McDonald's diet throughout his.
I mean, yeah. The reason because Dwight Howard came out with his plan too, and he was eating like McDonald's, and he used to eat candy bars and everything all day, and he probably got to be one of the most athletic, ripped NBA guys I've ever seen.
You said who was it?
Dwight Howard.
You know who else said that too? Allen Iverson said that. He was like, man, he used to eat like the games he would drop 40 and stuff. The night before he had burgers, Pop was out drinking, all of that stuff. The body needs what the body needs, bro.
That's same with Gilbert Arenas.
Hey, look at
Gilbert Arenas played with cocaine in his sock.
Yeah.
Nah, that's wild. That's wild.
It was crazy on the court too.
But yeah, man, there's so many things to talk about one day, man. I just want to say, man, you've been great so far. Before I keep going, man, you've been honestly great tonight. We gotta have you on way more. We gotta come on your podcast with
Definitely.
I gotta give respect where respect is due and flowers to those who earn it, man. You doing a good job tonight. You on it. Yeah, I got two more players on my list. Next one though, I think definitely is an influential player of all time. That's Magic Johnson. He set the bar for what NBA point guards are supposed to be, and he set the bar for all NBA point guards that have followed after him in his footsteps. Because like y'all talked about LeBron's, the Giannis's, all the big men that are 6'9". Magic Johnson was 6'9" with the basketball IQ, the athleticism. He had everything you wanted to play. He could honestly play at any position because of his athletics.
He did most of the time.
Yeah. The man, the tag team duo, one of the greatest tag team duos of all time in the NBA. Now, obviously, we weren't there to witness it, but what they did, what him and Kareem did in the 80s, that was some nasty work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
they pushed basketball. I mean, basketball was nothing before that.
Saved the league.
Really put it on the map. I mean, obviously, the Wilt Chamberlains, the Bill Russells were there, but they really put the NBA on the map for what they did in the 80s, Magic and Kareem.
Mm-hmm.
But last player, I agree with. Now, see, this was so. I was gonna put Kobe on this list, but I had to put the guy that's really changing the culture for a lot of players right now.
Who you gonna say?
Who am I gonna say?
You better.
Steph Curry.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, Steph Curry. I had to. Man, greatest shooter of all time, man, on this planet. Inspiring upcoming generations to shoot the basketball the way how he does. He's basically changed the game of basketball for sake of the future and showed the importance of having it.
He's ruined the game of basketball.
No,
he ruined it.
Got guys pulling up on the fast break, taking threes.
Hey, if you got the range, that's what Steph Curry can do. And he's gonna.
You're right. That's what Steph Curry can do.
Yeah, I was about to say that's the problem. Everybody think they got the range. That's what the problem is.
Right.
But he's showing how the importance of being an effective shooter can be. So I had to put Steph Curry on that list because the game now you got big men trying to elevate their game of having that 3-point clip in their arsenal.
I see Brooke Lopez just pulling from deep.
That's
all the time.
Ain't no
Nah.
center. Every center's job was to get down low in the paint until Steph Curry came along and started just jacking anybody. He was just. I know y'all know the LeBron move. They call it the late fuck you, where he just steps, look at the and just shoot. Just look at the line, step back and shoot. Steph Curry, you might as well say he had his own thing that he started. The lay Curry, where he just looked at the 3-point line and just started jacking them, because that's what he started doing. Now you got the big man only had one job, just get in the paint. Now you can see a lot like Nikola Jokic. I ain't saying he's the shooter of Steph Curry, but that what he can do as a big man, that has a lot to do with Steph Curry for his shooting ability.
You see people game plan, like you see people who can't shoot, and then you see their coaches wanting them to shoot more. Cough, cough, Anthony Davis. But I mean, like I see this all the time where they have guys just who aren't the best at shooting. Their coaches prefer them to shoot at least like 3 or 4 a game, just to set the offense up, just to pull people out the paint. But
Go ahead.
no, I was finished.
So, your 4. Who's your 4, Tom? You got Kobe. Wait, no, you didn't put Kobe.
No, I didn't put. I got
You put
Jordan, LeBron, Magic, and Steph Curry.
Okay. Bet. Y'all done took all my damn people. Like, I had to start rethinking different people because I'm like, y'all done took all my damn people.
Kobe and Kareem were on my honorable mentions. I will say that. I was really trying to see if I could put them on, but I had to say those 4 players. I had to.
I respected that. They were all good picks. Every person that was on that list was definitely a solid pick. So I ain't even mad at it. And there's plenty of people who were impactful. So it's definitely more from where it came from. So with that being said, I guess I'll just jump into my little 4 picks. All right. I ain't got no order here, but since you took Magic, you took AI, you took Kobe, you took Steph, they was all in there for sure. But I'm gonna throw some curveballs at you. I definitely thought somebody was gonna take this dude. I gotta go with the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq revolutionized the game in crazy ways. Man, pure dominance in terms of basketball. We have not seen it replicated anytime soon. That man made being a big man popular. He made being a big man like prideful, like, oh, you can actually run an offense and use your big man on the offensive end. Like, man, impactful. And there's a couple other guys up there because you could really throw Kareem in there as well. It's a couple other people in there. You can throw Timmy D, KG. And you can throw some people in. But I think, above all, Shaq was the one who was like, if we get a big that can do this and this and this, like, whew, it's crazy. Like you said, yeah, he was taking down hoops. So we know that the impact that Shaq had. Have to go with Shaq. I'm going to continue to show love to more big men here. I'm going to go Dennis Rodman as well. So we all know here Dennis Rodman wasn't a skill guy. He wasn't a person who's going to impact you a lot on the offensive end, but even on the defensive end. The man could guard just about 2 through 5, and when I look at Dennis Rodman, it reminds me of guys on teams like P.J. Tucker. It reminds me of guys like Aaron Gordon, Bam Adebayo, those cleanup type of guys, the Draymond Greens. Because without any of those guys on the teams, you don't win championships. Every team that has won a championship has had some sort of cleanup man or somebody who's going to really be the shit starter, if you will. They're going to be the one that dirty work. Yeah, somebody got to do the dirty work. And Dennis Rodman was a person who shed light to that position. And, boy, I got to give him his credit there because I think that's huge. And without the world realizing that, man, all Dennis Rodman does is hustle and work hard and just do the scrappy work, this game would not be the same. So I have to go with Dennis Rodman. There on the list was definitely Bron. Bron was on the list for sure, man. The man has been so impactful in terms of just revolutionizing the game. We already had a discussion about Bron, so I'm not going to go all the way over there. However, I'm going to go in a different direction for point guards here. I wanted to say Magic because we know what he did. That man changed the whole negotiation of contracts. getting a lifetime deal with the contract with the Lakers and all of that craziness that was happening during that time. Wanted to say AI. We know the impact he had on and off the court of changing the whole culture of the NBA. But those guys were taken. So for my fourth, I'm going to go Tim Hardaway, the original Mr. Crossover. That man used to give people work, and he showed people like, oh, he's quick. He can just get around you so quick with a quick little crossover. So I'm definitely going to go Tim Hardaway, man. That man, hey, he did his thing. Not too much I can't say about him in terms of like comparing them to guys now, but as most basketball heads know, without the impact of him, doing a crossover and stuff and just getting by people so quickly, we don't see a lot of different players in today's era and a lot of our favorite players that we like. You don't see handles like Kyrie if Hardaway wasn't out there.
Tim Hardaway had like the first hand cross. Like,
I think I'm pretty sure. I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to present wrong information. But if I got you agreeing with me, then damn it, I'm gonna say it. Definitely there. In terms of like just presenting a crossover, and even James Harden, I think, like you just mentioned here, I think James Harden definitely has something to do with the evolution of the game. So many people does, and ultimately, it's collective eras that had the impact for the next generation. Like what we seen in the 90s set up everything for the 2000s. What we seen in the 2000s set up everything for the 2010s. What we seen in 2010 set up everything for now. And I think it's about to get even crazier now that we got multiple 7-footers dominating the game, including Wemby, who's in his first year. You got Chet, who's about to start proving what he can do. Even Nikola Jokic, who's not a tall, skinny guy, but damn it, that man is still dominant. You got Joel.
I really like Chet too. I really like Chet.
Chet's gonna be nice, and I'm excited to see what these guys can do, man. So, like, I think it's definitely headed in a good direction. But ultimately, my guys, Shaq, Dennis Rodman, Bron, and Tim Hardaway, the original Tim Hardaway, not Tim Hardaway Jr. Those guys are my top 4 in terms.
It's a great list. Great list.
That is a good list.
I have one honorable mention. I thought somebody was gonna say it, but nobody did. But Vince Carter.
I thought about it.
I did think about that.
I thought somebody was gonna say Vince Carter.
Hey,
but I mean, the high flyer. I mean, I still go back myself just to look up him jumping over the 7-footer in the World Cup.
Insane. I looked at Lonzo Mourning dunk, all of that, bro. Oh my gosh.
Just the reverse 360 through the legs.
Insane, bro. That man, I can't say he was the origin of being a high flyer because obviously focusing all on him, but boy, we know what he did for the dunking in the game. We know that he was the one, like almost the bridge of like after Dominique and all of them, where we are. Like that man was sick.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you see guys like Dr. J and Dominique, like you said, with the explosiveness, but it seemed like Vince Carter's was just on a different level.
Man, he was insane. I definitely thought about saying Vince Carter, which is crazy. That was crazy. But no, I love that honorable mention. He's definitely in there.
Yeah. Man, this was a fun episode. Yeah. I would say that this was really fun. The Cowboys things were funny. The basketball takes were good. Man, there's going to be a lot of editing I got to do in terms of putting the best of the best out there because I think we were all cooking tonight. I think this was really good, a good episode. Thank you again, Manny, for joining us on the nice episode, man. You did that. You did your thing.
All I got to know is when you see Manny do this, you better get scared, all right?
Hey, that's the key. Bro. Everybody was in the bag tonight like this, bro. I had to just mentally prepare for a second. Like, all right,
I didn't know what he was going to say, but he was saying like this. When I saw him, I was like, all right, I'm going to let him take off. But I didn't know he was going like that.
I ain't going to lie to you. I knew about 5% of what I was going to say. I just started rolling.
You had some heat coming off the dome, though.
Yeah, I was rolling after a while. I had my first point, then after a while, I was rolling.
But, yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up tonight. That's all the time we have for you guys today. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, Fred Harris, and our guest, Manny Wilson from the Run Podcast. You guys can check out his podcast on all platforms. Go ahead and check out the Run Podcast presented by Manny Wilson. But, man, we're going to have you on again. a lot for the sake of future. And then we're gonna have to
Do
come
it.
on your show as well. So he's located all the way in Chicago, guys. I know we're in Maryland, so it shows that networking can work in a lot of ways across the globe, across the country. So go ahead and check out Manny Wilson from the Run Podcast. But that's all the time for you guys today. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off. And we'll see you guys on next week's episode.
See y'all.
All right, Manny.
Yo,
All right,
appreciate it, baby. Y'all boys be smooth.
all right, you too.
Sure.